panel discussions, first on the performance area and then on the compensation area. We would have two groups of panelists, the first one coming for the performance area and the second group coming for the compensation area. For the performance area, we have 6 speakers, and for the compensation, we have 4 who are part of the panel. So the compensation panel has Dr. Karnakar, Dr. Mishra, T.S. Babu, Ms. Bharati. We'll call them for the second panel. The first panel, we will invite the 6 speakers for the first panel on performance management. The format of this is clear. Gentlemen, ladies, just stay with me for a focused 5-10 minutes. I'm just going to explain the way the panel is going to happen. If you have any questions which you feel the panelists should answer, please give the questions, write it on a slip of paper. Prasad, are you there? You can see Prasad there. Prasad, raise your hand. Fahid, raise your hand. The 2 of them, if you have any questions, please give it during the panel discussion to them, and they will read out the questions which they consider the most relevant or the most repeated. Is that clear? The panel is going to be like this. We did a primary research of asking a few hundred companies what are the pain areas that they're having in performance and compensation management. We identified the most critical pain areas through this primary research of over 100 companies being asked the same question, what are your pain areas? Haripriya, who's a member of the organizing committee, was the person who had collected the survey. She will first present what was the results of the survey. After which I will invite the panelists on stage. Each of them will speak for 2 to 3 minutes explaining what they feel in their experience could be some ways to address those pain areas. Any suggestions that they have. They can add any examples that they saw in their own companies or previous companies of what worked and what didn't work also. So that it will be a very rich learning for our very, very active and interested audience of people who are trying to implement these and support these pain areas in their own company. So each of them will speak for 2 minutes. At the end, we'll have open question and answer session. But as I said, if you have a question, just raise your hand and they will come and collect the question. And we will have time to address only about 5 to 10 questions. So each panel we hope to finish in about half an hour, right? So can I request Haripriya, a member of the organizing committee, a very dynamic member, a fellow student of the HRB, of the Asian HR Board, and a member of the HRB organizing committee, and she is going to present the research that they did. Welcome. Give a warm welcome to Haripriya, please.
Thank you, Nitin. A very warm welcome to everyone after a good tea break. I'm sure everyone had a good break. Well, I just wanted to talk about the pain areas of performance and compensation management. The survey that we have done for about 100 plus companies across Hyderabad and southern areas. We had a couple of questions as to how were the employees, if all your employees have well-defined, measurable KRAs, and then the employees are assigned with additional tasks which are not in the KRAs. Such questions where, performance management system is followed in your organization, is integrated with Comp and Ben versus talent development. The very objective of this survey was to identify what the pain areas and gaps that we encounter, and then try and ensure to fill the gaps and see what best practices can be shared. And that's how we are here.
I have had nearly 3 decades working. Of course, I had some people telling me that it doesn't look like that. But I started very early because I did my education in Pune and we had a very early time for our college. So I started early with a company called Max Factor. And there itself, I never knew what performance management system was, but we had a pattern which was being followed. And later on, when I went as an intern to Tata, we had an internship done at Telco, which one of my faculty members who was the first lady Tata employee, Sudha Krishnamurthy, And she taught us a lot of things there, although being statistical background, which today we are talking of balanced scorecard and of 360 degrees. We did that 2.5 decades back, which was not named like this, but they had their own systems. Now, with that, I move.
Good morning, friends. I don't know whether I totally compatible with the ambience here. I was sandwiched between usually management and the HR. I don't know what level you call. And I liked your title because the title belongs to my profession, pain. And you know, pain relief could be very temporary local anesthesia, or it can be general anesthesia. So it all depends upon how you look at it. I would like to, because of the type of profession in which we are, it may not be same for everyone, I can only say, it's a very complex situation today. I was telling Chakrapani the other day, a little while ago, that when education and health have become...
The appraisal process, you can look at your boss and say, yeah, I love you and you love me too type of situation. No.
Two people.
Only two boys. Two boys. I don't know, most of the time I find this thing being a big pain in the neck, because the moment you start talking to people about appraisal, they say, oh, I hate my boss. Just yesterday I was talking to this girl. She was working with one of the top organizations and then she quit. She put in the papers, and I mean, because she got through another company and she was doing, at twice the salary and stuff like that. But as a last minute check, they do the reference check, you know, after they have handed over the letter. They found that the manager had not very nice things to say because they had a fight over the performance management issue. Because she did not agree with the thing. So she lost this job and that job. So she was very upset about it. And she was like, you know, obviously I was doing good work and hence I got that job. And now I've been, you know, I don't have either. Because she doesn't have this job and that job. It was with this reference that she had called me up. And I was like, this is exactly what Nitin was just referring to, you know, that performance management sometimes can be almost like a judgment.
100 seconds, 5 minutes. I would like to just quickly, you know, cover my experiences as an entrepreneur. When I started my first company at the age of 17, and when I started my first IT company at the age of 19, I was paying salaries to my programmers. And that was perhaps my experience as an appraiser. And the performance indicator was just finishing the task on time and then paying their salaries on time. And I moved on. I would like to just share my experience about one of my group companies called MedTech. The business environment is so challenging. I'm a little proud to say that we are US largest healthcare BPO providers when it comes to the surgical centers. And at this point in time, we are having 3,500 people working in various locations of the country. In Hyderabad itself, we have 550. When we started this company 7 years ago, our purpose was very different, and then it has been the same. Because right from day one, I believe any company, any organization that you would like to set up should have something called a purpose. It's not, people are not very much interested to see what you are doing and how you are doing, but majority of the corporations in this world have grown phenomenally when they have realized why they are doing certain things.
I'd like to share with you my position here is a little bit challenging for two reasons. One, when you go towards the end of the speaker sessions, you would have seen that most of your points which you want to talk have already been talked by other people. So you are scrambling for those points. And the second reason is, Dr. Karunakar mentioned about management and HR team. I have another challenge that I have my head of HR also over here. Okay, so you can, you know, it's between the two. I would like to share with you something very interesting. You know, I like Rajinikanth movies a lot. Now the reason why I like Rajinikanth movies, and I want to share this with all the HR people, because I'm not a HR person, but I love HR people. At least I have to say that. The reason why I like Rajinikanth movies is just towards the end of the movie, you will find one very interesting thing happening. This mighty Rajinikanth, who has a lot of power, capability and things like that, is tied to a chair with a lot of ropes. He can't move around. And all of a sudden, these people, the villains, they catch his sweetheart, they take her into a car and they keep going away. It will be around 5-6 minutes before they actually leave. And then Rajinikanth will find his teeth so powerful that he will bite one of those, ropes, and he'll free himself. And as you can expect, he'll peep through the window, and there is a horse waiting for him. And he'll jump onto that horse, and you all know the end. He will be much before the villains could take his sweetheart away. He'll go before them, catch them, thrash them, and he will win his sweetheart. Now, did you ever find why he has been so successful in reaching before the villains?
Effective HR systems.
I wish it was that. Now, the point I am trying to make with this particular thing is, my request to all human resource development managers is to think in this particular context. Now, the reason why the villains have been slow is because they used a car, and car has to use a normal road regulations and rules. Okay? You use a conventional system. But what did Rajinikanth use? He used a horse. And horse, luckily, doesn't have to use those rules. So it can jump over walls, the car can't. Okay? It can jump over small culverts, car can't. So my request to HR people is to think about the human development and performance aspects from a slightly unconventional methods.
In her company. So we have August team of 4 people. I would just like them to give from their wide research, academic and practical experience, what are the 3-4 things that you believe a good compensation system should have? What do you think would be some of the issues in a compensation system, and how have you practically handled it? Can I request Mr. Babu to start, sir?